All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And this is just another news and prophecy lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. So let's get into this first article. This is from NPR.org. Vaccine cards and second dose reminders are a part of Warp Speed's immunization plan, right? Millions of Americans who are expected to receive the new Crown Royal 19 vaccine in coming months will need to take 2 doses of the drug. And the U.S. Gov says it will issue a vaccine card and use other tools to help people follow through with their immunizations, right? We've set up everything in a draconian process where when we sent out the ancillary kits, which have needles and syringes, we've included paper cards to be filled out and given to the individuals, reminding them of their next vaccine due date. Army General Gustav Perna, Warp Speed's chief operating officer, said at a briefing Wednesday. Let's go into this word, draconian, right? Draconian laws. It says traditional Athenian law code allegedly introduced by Draco, c. 621 BCE. The draconian laws were most noteworthy for their harshness. They were said to be written in blood rather than ink. Death was prescribed for almost all criminal offenses. Let's read this again. Draconian laws, traditional Athenian law code allegedly introduced by Draco c. 621 BCE. The draconian laws were most noteworthy for their harshness. They were said to be written in blood rather than ink. Death was prescribed for almost all criminal offenses. Now, recently there was an article that came out dealing with how E is he now has put back into effect the ways that criminals can be punished. Okay, so you can now be punished by because they already got lethal injection, electrocution, hanging is another one that they said they allow now again, and many more. We know they're going to use the guillotines and so forth, okay? Because these draconian measures are about to be underway. And they're going to have, permission, so to speak, right? They are going to be allowed to do these things. Because once they deem you as a criminal, once they deem you as an enemy of the state or enemy of the government, country, so to speak, you'll be a person as against them, okay, or opposing what they want to push forth. So they would say, well, they'll put you under the title of treason, basically, right? So now when you think about this scripture right here, in fact, let's go to the concordance with it. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12, and it reads, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So, going to that word wrath in the Greek, G2372, is thumos. All right. So it goes into, it says, let's just get the point. It says fierceness, indignation, wrath. All right. And this is how he is going to come. He's going to come with great wrath, right? Because he know if he has a short time, right? He know that his kingdom, that his rulership is about to be up. But in doing so, and pushing forth his agenda, which is the New World Order, he's gonna do it by draconian measures. Okay, he's gonna come down on the people with fierceness, with wrath. Okay, with his indignation, because he has a lot of statements he's gonna want to make, especially for people that's against what he's trying to do, right? So you're going to see a lot of public, and this whoever who may see this, but there's going to be a lot of public examples being made, beheadings, all right, tortures, a lot of different things. So we're going to see draconian measures underway. Continuing on, it says people who receive the vaccine cards will be encouraged to take a photo of them or keep them in their wallet, Perna said. Images of a sample vaccine card that were circulated after the briefing showed that it will record a recipient's first and last name and date of birth, along with the dates on which they received a dose of the vaccine. There are also spaces to record the vaccine's name and maker, crucial details to ensure people get the correct second dose to complete their immunization. Right? So basically this is going to be your papers, your new ID, your vaccine passport. All right? And when they start to ask people, where's your vaccine passport? Where's your vaccine ID? We need that verification. You're going to be in need in order to show this, okay, this piece of paper. And see, they're just using a piece of paper now, all right? But, we know they have a better method to this coming, right? Where it's going to be digital, because ultimately, he don't really want to go through this whole process of showing this paperwork type of ordeal. That's not how you get down. He has this microwave concept where he wants everything to be done fast and for everything to be tracked. So with doing that, okay, he's gonna make this thing digital, okay, or a way that he can be able to read it in so people won't be able to get over, And that's one of the big things we know dealing with the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. When he put it inside you, he's, it's inside you. So no one's going to have the, be able to take it from you and, use your, take your little, your card or this piece of paper or your card or whatever and use it as if they took it. Nah. You see, so he's going to make it where they going to know who is who took what, this and that. You know what I'm saying? So this is just, a step, but we know E is coming with much more. Continuing on, it says Dr. Moncef Slaoui, Warp Speed's chief advisor, said it will be very important for all Americans who get the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccine to have their first vaccine dose and then come back either 3 or 4 weeks later to get their second vaccine dose to complete the immunization schedule. Perna repeatedly described the dosage tracking element as a draconian part of protecting millions of Americans against the virus. He noted that the Operation Warp Speed, the federal effort to bring Crown Royal 19 vaccines to the public, must be mindful of a variety of state laws regarding medical information and notifications. States will also run their own notification programs, another important part of the plan to make sure Americans are properly vaccinated. We do know that pharmacies such as CVS and Walgreens have established very elaborate tracking systems to set up appointments, notify people when their second shots are required, Perna said. At at the federal law level, he added, we have capability and capacity to send second dose messages out only if and when it's in collaboration with the state's laws, regulations, and policies. Once the vaccines are distributed, they will be administered in a variety of settings, from pharmacies, doctor offices, to health clinics, and special vaccination sites. Perna said the federal operation is taking a triple canopy approach to make the vaccination process effective, and we're doing our best to capture everybody to ensure that they get their second dose, he added. So, there's a little bit more on here. You can come read it if you want. Let's see. No. Let's just read it because there's some good information on here. Let's see. Let's jump right here. It says, news of several promising vaccines have been a rare source of optimism about the outbreak in the U.S., which is by far the worst hit country in the world. Slaoui says he's confident the U.S. will be able to carry out tens of millions of vaccines between now and early 2021. Between the middle of December and the end of February, Slaoui said, we will have potentially immunized 100 million people, which is really more or less the size of the significant at-risk population, such as the elderly, frontline workers, and people in health conditions that increase their risk. Okay? So you see what time it is. All right. Let's deal with this one, so we're done with that. So as you see, let's get this one first. It's from CNBC.com. It says, would you be willing to get a Crown Royal vaccine in exchange for a $1,500 stimulus check? How one bold proposal would work. Key point: Americans are eager for more one-time stimulus checks, while the U.S. Gov is working to get Crown Royal 19 vaccinations to the American public. Now, one proposal from former Congressman John Delaney aims to help both sides by providing stimulus checks in exchange for getting vaccinated. The goal to reach a 75% vaccination rate faster, which could save both lives and the U.S. economy. So you see how E's already coming with it. All right, E's coming with his what? His tactic. One of his traits, or what would they say? Traits or characteristics, that he has in him, right? And it's what? Deception. All right? Deception. Because you see how he's using it. See, people are on their knees at the moment. And he's taking his time while people are on their knees and say, well, you people need some money. You people need to eat. People need, you need shelter. So why not use this situation to lure you in? Because people need the money. People need the money. People have lost their jobs due to the pandemic. All right? People are on their backs. And with this taking place, and see, you already got people that was already going to take it anyway. But then it was like, well, shit, I'm just taking it anyway, so I could use the $1,500. Then you got the people that say they wasn't going to take it, but now I say, well, shit, I need the $1,500, so I'm going to take it. You see, this is how E works. Okay? He got you on your knees, and now you're begging for him. You're begging for, things to go back to normal. You're begging for the vaccine. You see? So you're right where E wants you at, man. And it's going to get worse. So as you see, it says millions of Americans are still hoping for a second round of stimulus checks to help them cope with the financial fallout of the Crown Royal 19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the U.S. government is preparing to distribute vaccinations to the American public in order to put an end to the public health crisis. Now, one proposal aims to help both efforts by giving people $1,500 stimulus checks in exchange for getting immunized. Okay. The idea comes from John Delaney, a former Democratic congressman from Maryland who also ran for president in 2020. The faster we get 75% of this country vaccinated, the faster we end Crown Royal. In the soon, everything returns to normal, Delaney said in an interview with CNBC.com. Excuse me. Admittedly, the plan could face some hurdles. And there's some more on there. So, but you see where they're going with it. And we told you that E was going to play this game. Right? We told you that E was going to use different benefits against you to take the vaccination. We told you that E was going to use these different ways to lure you in to take the chip. To take the vaccine. Right? And then ultimately, the same process, the same steps in a way of for you to take the chip, which is the mark of the beast as well. So let's go into this word Slovakia. Because all this is a snare, This is all a snare. So let's see what I want to get. Here we go, yep. Psalm 64, verse 2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them in the heart is deep. So this is what they do. And see, they don't sleep unless they do wickedness. Right? And this is what they do. They lay snares privily. They hold these different councils, right, amongst each other, and they come together and say, well, how can we get these people to take the vaccine? How can we get these people to get on board? Well, let's take things from them. Let's withhold things from them. Let's make life harder on them than it already is. You see? So these are different ways. These are different ways that they come up with on a sitting at the table to say, well, this is going to work. This is not going to work. Let's try this and let's try that. So they got a whole drawing board, a whole plan, okay, where they come up with these different ideas to see if they'll work, okay? So they lay snares privily. None of this shit is going to alter your body. None of this shit is going to have you busted and disgusted. But they don't care because they want to just continue with their agenda. Verse 7 says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. All right. So that's the point. That's why I really wanted to get on that. And it talks about them, accomplishing a diligent search. See, they search all these things out before they put them into play. They have different meetings about it. They do a drawing board. They do different experiments and to see what will work and what won't work. See, they do all these different things, man. And it's really geared to destroy you tribes. You know? That's what it's for. To get rid of you tribes, man. You Israelites. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So it says Congress has worked for months to come to an agreement on the next Crown Royal stimulus package. Republicans and Democrats are still at odds, even as 12 million people could lose unemployment benefits in a few weeks if nothing is done. More stimulus checks, once an area of bipartisan agreement, now seem to be off the table. All right. So, in a few weeks, I believe at the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken, going to somewhere into end of the month, or I believe a few weeks into January, all those benefits that is still being helped, like that aid is still being helped with people, that's out of work, the unemployment and things like that, for in the housing, dealing with the evictions, because that government was helping out. Hey, that's all about to run out. So if you don't get that second stimulus check, you through. For most people, So and this is why they're pushing it. Well, let's see if they'll get vaccinated for this. See if they'll get vaccinated for $1,500, and they know majority of people are going to take it because they have to. They have no choice. Like I said, they're brought down to their knees already. At the same time, the CDC met this week to decide who should be first in line to get vaccinated. Once the vaccines are approved, they will roll out to Americans free of charge, but some individuals may be afraid to take the newly developed treatments. One Gallup poll found that 58% of Americans said they would get a vaccine. So from the polls, right, of saying 58, they know they got to come up with some other way to get it on board to 95%, 100%. You see? So you can continue to read on that if you choose. And with last but not least, with all that going on, this is from blacklistednews.com. It says LA County Mayor says not wearing a mask is an act of domestic terrorism. Right? And this is just for simply not wearing a mask. So how much more of not getting a vaccine? Not getting vaccinated. You ain't got a mask on, that's an act of domestic terrorism. So what about not getting vaccinated is going? What does that hold you under? What title are you going to be held under for that? Treason. A terrorist, a threat to the public, for health reasons. So we know what that's going to come with, of them trying to put you in a concentration camp, want to move you off the streets because you're a health risk. So let's see. Off of this. So the source is Zero Hedge. It says a Los Angeles County public official was quoted by the Los Angeles Daily News as saying those who defy the public health order to wear a mask in public in response to the virus pandemic are guilty of an act of domestic terrorism. If it were up to me, anybody not wearing a mask when they are out in the public would be arrested. That's an act of domestic terrorism and should be treated like one. You see, so this is what the mayor's talk about. So this is how they feel of you not being wearing a mask. So what are they gonna think of you and title you of not being vaccinated, right? A domestic terrorist. You see? But so that's it. That's the point on that. It's going into the new cases and things like that. Yeah, so that's the point. And this is what we're talking about. This is news and prophecy that we have been talking about. And letting our people know and warning the people of what not to take. So I just wanted to touch on that to the spirit Shalak. I didn't bring out too many scriptures, but I just wanted to update you of what was taking place of news and prophecy. So Lord willing, hope it was that I found. Till next time, I want to say shalom.